Hello, welcome to Andertons TV. My name is Jack Duxbury. Taylor's behind the camera today.
Yo.
Oz is sadly not here with us today, but we look forward to having him back. And all the way from Bristol, we've got...
Alex. Hey.
My man. Not just Bristol, Focusrite.
That's right, yeah.
Sequential.
That's right, yeah.
And what we are going to do in this video is talk about the 6 series, right?
Exactly, yeah. We've got 3 6-voice synths from Sequential, so we're going to take them apart, see what's similar, see what's different, what makes them unique, what makes them special, and have some fun with them.
We're just going to take some time and explore, because it's been out for a while, right, these?
That's right, yeah. Actually, we're coming up to 10 years of the Prophet-6, but the Trigon-6 has only been out maybe a couple of years, I think. Sequential's legacy goes way back. But
Where do you want to start, mate? What are we going to talk about, the differences first or similarities?
I think, yeah, we'll start off maybe with the most prominent feature that's different between them, which is the filter section on each one. I think that's probably the most significant part of mostly any synth is the filter section. And we've got 3 completely different filter types on each of these synths. I guess just to introduce as well, we've got the Prophet-6, the OB-6, and the Trigon-6. I could tell you a little bit about each one, but let's get hearing them first.
Okay, let's do that, yeah.
All right. Yeah, we're starting off on a blank patch here on the Prophet-6, and we've just got really nice filter. If you want to, in fact, I'll let you just
should I do some wiggling?
have some fun with the low pass filter and pop the resonance in.
Brassy.
It's brassy, yeah. You get really nice brassy sounds with the Prophet.
I said the right word,
Yeah, exactly, yeah. It's very, it's a very hard filter as well. Like it's a low pass, low's getting through, but not a lot else is getting past it, on the high end. So
should we do the same thing?
Yeah, let's do the same thing on this one. Now it's a variable state filter on the OB-6. It could be a low pass, it could be a high pass, it could be a notch or a band pass. But for the sake of A/B tests or an ABC test, we'll keep on a low pass.
Of a Luddite fiddling. Let's do similar things.
You got the volume up on that one? Yeah, sweet.
Yeah.
Let's same chords, let's go.
Much less aggression in there.
Yeah.
Much less screechy as well.
Yeah, defo. Yeah. It doesn't self-resonate, right? So with that one, if you turn the resonance all the way up, you basically got a whole other oscillator going on. That's when the resonance is all the way up. In fact, I think you can even turn off the... Yeah, if we turn all the oscillators down on this one, so there's no oscillation going on. That's just the cutoff of the low-pass filter self-oscillating. Now you put a bit of delay on that. Yeah, but that doesn't happen with the OB-6. It doesn't self-resonate. If you turn it all the way up, it will
Let's
be real tight.
finish it off with the third one. I'll see what the... I'll play some chords this time.
Go on in, yeah.
What's going on there?
That's a ladder filter, so it's weird. It kind of like takes out a bit of the low end when you engage it, and it releases like a tractor beam all around the cutoff frequency, right? So it's just really pulled everything in around the resonance area. It took me a bit getting used to, because initially sort of you hear the low end fall out and you think, oh, where's that gone? But actually that's the point of a ladder filter. That's the beauty of it. It really, pulls it all in around the resonance, and it gets kind of honky there, which is good fun.
As I'm learning, you almost... This is the full toolkit. With the 6 series. When I first started to get, I was like, I heard the ladder filter thing, because that was familiar, coming from Moog synthesizers, right?
Yeah.
But it's a bit like in guitar land where people will go, oh, you need a Les Paul and a Strat and a Tele.
Right.
To me, like, these are the 3. Are they the 3 filter types?
Exactly. Yeah, it's a lot like it's exactly like that actually. Really, I suppose they're very very similar in the basic architecture, much like a Strat and a Tele, but then kind of worlds apart once you really dial in. I would say way further apart because obviously with synthesis, filter types are very, very impactful on the overall sound you're going to get for it. But a really good test of a different filter, in my opinion, in Synthland is can it quack, right? So let's put a little bit of modulation on it and just hear that filter.
Oh, let's do it.
Opening up. So we'll start with the
Jack Duxbury. I can quack with a bit.
Yeah, you got this. You're ready. For this.
Quacksbury.
Quacksbury coming up. So we'll start with blank patch. We want that. So we'll just put, using the mod envelope, we'll bring the sustain all the way up. Yeah, let's do a bit of that. I'm going to bring that cutoff down. And bring the attack up. There we go. Now we're kind of funky.
I'll play for you, mate.
Go on then, yeah.
Yeah, really, really
right?
quaint.
Really funky, right? Let's try and do the same thing on the OB-6 and
Quack
hear what
black.
that sounds like. Yeah, try this on the OB-6. It's got a similar sound dialed in.
Nice pitch wheel.
Yeah. You can get low, I think you can get even lower and still quack. Now we're getting kicked off.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just a little bit more of an aggressive, I think, on that one. This one's a little bit more, I don't know, tied in around the resonance area, like I say. But yeah, on the Prophet as well, I've got a similar patch lined up. Now that's going real low. Nice, that's good playing.
Nice, mate.
But you hear that's a lot it's a lot more strict about what it lets past, right? If there was a bouncer, it's not letting anyone in that's not below the cutoff frequency, right? Nothing's getting in over it. But it's a pretty fun demo of like what the different filters sound like in their basic form. But as we dig deeper into it, they get crazy, the differences. So on the Prophet-6, you've got a high pass filter as well, which obviously is really nice to just dial in from scratch.
Oh, resonant as well, yeah.
I think it's a 2-pole filter on the high pass and a 4-pole filter on the low pass for clarity. But obviously you can combine those, bring in the low pass filter as well, and it becomes like a band pass.
I'm into that.
And then when you start modulating those as well, you get some really interesting results. So we could put like an LFO just modulating the high pass frequency and then keep the low pass at the same place. Yeah, in fact, go on, let's give that a go.
Those two filters is everything.
Yeah, right, yeah.
I'm having a bit of a revelation in 2024 of like just how important having a high pass is.
Yeah, it's an underrated thing. Obviously, it's useless because it's bright, it's really bright. But yeah, having it there to sweep down for transitions.
Especially for those pads, the type of playing I do, I get it.
Yeah,
I get it big time. That's cool.
Yeah, it's nice having them being able to like be completely independently
is
programmed.
this the only one with that?
Well, so...
Because it is a rare feature.
It's odd. So we've also got on the OB-6, well, it's variable state, so we can have it as a high-pass filter or a low-pass filter, but not both at the same time,
cool.
like in the Prophet-6. However, we can get a bandpass filter in the OB-6, which obviously is kind of what happens when
you have a little fiddle around with that?
Yeah, go on then. So we'll turn the volume.
So that
back
doesn't
up on
do
that
bandpass, but in effect, you're making one with the two filters.
Exactly. Yeah, you can fudge a bandpass and you can modulate them so they stay together like that. This
and
one,
we're from the West Country. We love fudge.
Exactly. Yeah. Keep it sweet. So there's a variable state filter, and we can sweep from low pass to high pass via notch, which sounds like this.
Yeah.
Right, so that's kind of like two different worlds, right? And we're just modulating between them. And it starts to get really fun when you modulate at like almost audio rate as well. So
now, when you say modulate, if people out there don't know what that means.
Yes, so think of it as like an invisible hand that is doing what I just did there. So
cool.
I can automate that motion basically with like a low frequency oscillator, like a slow moving control signal that just goes from high to low basically.
Nice.
Yeah. That's like a sweepable control. So whereas this does have like a low pass and a high pass that they are completely independent, this has got one or the other, or a band pass in the middle of it. Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, that's one of the iconic Oberheim like elements, I suppose, is like the variable state filter.
Right, and modulate. Right, cool.
Yeah, and to be able to make it modulatable as well.
What's the Trigon? What's it trying to do over there?
Where's gone?
Great. That was good.
The Trigon has no high pass filter. All it needs is a ladder filter. That's what it's doing. So yeah, unlike these, where it's got like two filters and like a variable state filter, this just has a low pass filter. It's the ladder filter which we heard.
And like you made a good point. I think I've heard that with the low end. So should we do the same thing? Listen to the low end.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'll play something down, because I'm starting to understand the value of that.
If I bring down that cutoff, yeah. Oh, I've got the envelope all the way up now. Now, if I bring up the resonance, it'll take the low end out a little bit, but it'll shove it. It'll sort of like move that energy closer to the cutoff frequency. So it'll take it with it. But it can go low. If we set the cutoff really low, it'll take the energy way down with it as well. So I mean, it can hoover. It's also two-pole. It can be two-pole here.
So that is a less aggressive.
Exactly.
slope.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And what's doing at the end there was just adding a bit of drive into the filter as well. That's this dial. But if we go counterclockwise on this dial, you're going to love this. This is feedback. So feedback's just, as feedback does, getting the output stage, routing it back to the input, just like holding a mic or like a guitar up to the amplifier.
Cool.
And it goes crazy.
We're getting hot.
Oh, yeah. It's nuts. What's happening there is it's like the more complex the harmony that we're throwing into it, the crazier it gets. It just gets messier and messier. But if you just have one note held, it's just a certain point where it goes like past the brink.
Yeah,
you get some crazy sounds of it. Yeah, and that is the party trick of the Trigon.
We talk about it all the time. Oh, I've talked about it for bloody years. Yeah. But I've not actually ever gone left to right.
You're right.
And heard the differences like that. Now I can understand why people want to have all the different types.
Yes, sure. Yeah, they've each got their own character, their own sort of flavour to it. Different, like...
And analogue. If we haven't said, this is using analogue components to do it.
Yeah.
So I get it. That's one of the benefits if you want if you don't want to go to this extent, yeah, I can see the benefit of the whole raft of new digital synths you've got in. If you want to try those things out, but again, on the extremities, you can hear that it takes it so well.
Yes, yeah. The feedback's a really good example of that analog magic, right? Where it's behaving very unpredictably. Like, it's pretty wild, but it's still harmonic, you know? I suppose the other thing to point out is they've got different sub-oscillators, okay? So this is a nuanced point. People might not realise that looking at it from the top down. You just got to play with them for a little while to find out. But the sub-oscillator, let's start with the Prophet on this one.
Yeah.
So again, we'll start from blank. Bring the low-pass filter down a little bit, and... yeah, we'll just turn down the main oscillator, bring up the sub. That's a triangle wave. That's a triangle wave for the sub on the Prophet-6. I think it just suits the character of that synth. It's a bit smoother, like the filter is a bit smoother as well. By contrast, on the OB-6, we can hear it's a square on the sub, which is way more powerful, way more oomph to it. I think it kind of works just really nicely with the fizziness of the Oberheim filter. Yeah, that's just the sub oscillator on its own. So it's completely different in character. To the Prophet and the OB-6 there, you know, with the...
It is?
Yeah.
What on the Trigon, what you got?
So on the Trigon, you've actually got a completely independent third oscillator. So it can be whatever you want it to be, right? So it can be a triangle if you want it to be. Ooh, yeah. Saw, reverse saw, or a square. Of course, we can choose the octave it's at as well. If it's a square, you can have a pulse width. So, I mean, as far as the sort of sub-oscillator shoot, how it goes, shouldn't pick favourites, but I mean, that's way more versatile. That's a whole third oscillator, right? That's the big deal with the Trigon, is 6 voices and 3 oscillators. You can get a lot of places with that. The third oscillator as well, on the Trigon, you can see these octave switches for each oscillator, which, by the way, is unique to the Trigon in this lineup. On here, if you want to change the frequency of the Prophet or the OB-6, it's like a dial, whereas on here, it's these discrete switches. Which is actually really handy if you're jamming, and you've got like an arpeggiator, and you just want to kind of like, yeah.
If I shred the same lick...
Right? It's all over
all the dexterity I don't have.
Yeah. And all the extra arms as well.
It's funny, isn't it? Because these 3 things, sometimes I think, are they engineering in subtle differences to sell me multiple products?
Right.
But when you think about that, they're all from lineage beforehand, right?
Yeah, exactly.
This emerged naturally to have these differences.
Yes, very much, yeah.
That's my take on it.
Actually, yeah, that's a really good point. There's 3 completely different origins, lineages, like you say, and they've kind of converged on like a similar form factor so that you can really appreciate those lineages differently. I haven't thought about it before you mentioned it, but I suppose, yeah, if the Prophet...
Because I'm a punter, I'm a puncher first, and I was like, with these 2, I always thought, oh God, they've just put in like subtle differences to sell me too.
Right, yeah.
But as the years have gone on, I'm starting to realise that they really do embody each discipline very well, and like a fair representation of something like this really is Oberheim-y and that really is Prophet-y.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. They're 3 like pretty iconic, distinct backgrounds.
Martial arts.
Exactly. Yeah. They kind of land on the same place. I mean, we can kind of demonstrate that. I suppose we maybe do a bit of patch surfing and just kind of hear.
Do you have some favourites in there? Do you want?
I don't know if I've got favourites, but I tell you what's great with any sequential synth is every patch has a sequence built into it that was written by the patch designer. So if you just stumble upon a patch and you don't know what it's supposed to do...
Lovely patch.
It's a nice patch, but if I wasn't sure like what I'm supposed to do with that, I can press play on the sequencer and then you can hear what the patch designer intended.
Hit it! Gives you a little flavour.
Yeah, exactly. Just a little flavour of what...
Now I can hear you thinking, I've put a nice little delay on there, play rhythmically.
Yeah.
Can we, on all of them?
Yeah. Let's try. Let's try. And this also showcase, because it doesn't matter which patch you choose, once you get tuned in, you can start to get an ear for whether it's a Prophet, whether it's an OB-6, whether it's a Trigon return as well. So let's try pick a number between, I don't know, 1 and 300.
256.
2, 5, 6. These buttons are great fun as well. Clicky buttons. Yeah. Let's see what we got from that. Okay, so this is a great example of what do I do with that, right? What was
he thinking? Friday. That was Friday.
Probably quite a lot of noise going on.
The effects are really good. That one.
Quite far off the map.
That one's for you, Oz. He would be gurning at that. Taylor, do you want a number?
132.
132.
Whoa!
Gets kind of percussive.
They are. It's amazing that all those years ago they kind of made the right choices.
I know, it's crazy actually. Yeah.
The one thing, because I've got close to buying these before, is that I can't put them in a 19-inch rack. But then when you see them like this, out on their own, like maybe a little triple stand, it is a way to get the 3 core martial arts of synthesis.
That's a great way of putting it.
In a desktop with not too much space. Now, especially in 2025, these represent better value than ever.
Yeah, of course. And of course, they are available with keys as well, but the module format, particularly if you're kind of getting a few synths, is a really nice place to go.
If you think I'm going to go on that thing and I want to get all those sounds, I think it's a really interesting series now, with it being completed by the Trigon.
Yeah. You said something really interesting a moment ago about how they kind of nailed it when they started as well. That's a really good point. That's kind of where a lot of these come from. It's kind of like building on the classics. But the idea of the Prophet-6 initially, particularly, Dave was thinking, what would happen if they built a Prophet-5 in, 2015? I think 2015, 2016. So it's all kind of everything you'd want from a Prophet-5. Add an extra voice, throw on some effects, add a high-pass filter, throw a sequencer and an arpeggiator in there. Takes what works about it and adds a few more things, sort of ease of life features, and then just takes it a bit further, And there are some great effects on it,
That's really interesting. We've not done that before. Filter comparison, sub-oscillator comparison. And I implore you, the cool thing here in Andertons is we have all these out to try.
Right, yeah.
And until you've, that cut off and you've swept it and it connects with you, because some people, I've seen it, they're adamantly like, no, just the OB-6. We're not saying you have to buy all of it. You might just want to get really good at jiu-jitsu.
Exactly,
You have to get good at it.
Yeah,
that's
the
all.
Mixed martial arts, yeah.
Is there anything else you want to touch on with these?
Not particularly.
I thought that's an interesting lens to look at the differences between the two.
Yeah.
Would you do us the honour? You have a bit of a jam, and we'll get some audio. You can hear these things. Sure.
Yeah,
Let's do that. Thanks so much for being here.
Yeah.
Thanks, Taylor, for filming. If you like what we do, consider subscribing. If you don't, just let us know. We'll learn from that hate. It's cool. We can take it. We're grown-ups. All right, thanks, mate. Thanks so much for coming.
No problem.
And I'll leave you to play us out.
Brilliant. Cheers. All right.
Boom tings.
Let's have some fun.